people who like theater for young audience should definitely come. And I think theater for young audience as a concept need to be expanded because I think theater audience should be fun for both kids and adults. So adults should come too. I just want to say that this story, although it's a coming of age story of this 9-year-old little girl, it's also about the other characters, and each character has a, a lot of personality and has their own storyline. For example, the grandma, for example, the mom, for example, the bird columnist that a little Zhigeng loves reading. Um, for example, the adult version of our protagonist. For example, the cat hamster. Like you even get to know about the origin story and the whole story of a little hamster, and there's also uh, a dialogues of these two passengers on the bus, and so it's not a classic one act or three act play. I would say it's more like a photo album or a constellation, um, with many moments and many characters. Um, that's has that's connected by a central theme, um, and they're all in this photo album where you can just flip through and you're like, oh wow, this this scene is the style is exposed, and this scene is more saturated color, and this scene is kind of it's intimate and it's a little bit sad, and this photo uh, has a lot of puppets in it. So you're just like flipping this album. I'm sure one of the picture will hit you. Hi, I'm Olivia Xing. I'm the director and playwright for the new Theater for Audience and AAPI piece, Birds and the Curiosity, 鸟与好奇号. It's a coming of age story of the 9-year-old Chinese girl and her time traveling future self, and many birds and a singing hamster. Want to know more? Come see our show. The idea come from a talk with between me and my co-writer, and Gefei was talking about how like sometimes she just think about the issue that she has now and start blaming on her childhood. It's a thing we all do, you know? We're like, this happened because this happened in the past. So now I'm this. I'm not I'm not doing this right now because I never was able to do this, or like it's a it's limiting though, and it's not being present. So we're like, what if this adult has the same problem as we have? We're like, well, all our problem is because something we experienced in our childhood. But like, what if this adult go back to childhood and realize, oh, I can, instead of helping her, I can actually learn more from her. Like if actually I possess all the qualities in my authentic self and I forgot them on the way of growing up. And I wasn't this unfortunate child. I had the support of my family and friend. Also, I'm speaking this in the individual cases. I'm not just when I say we, it's like the playwright. I'm not saying everyone had a happy childhood with support of family friends. Um, but I do want to say that how to survive our childhood now that we're adult. It's not about blaming the childhood, uh, being obsessed with what had happened. It's about being present. And so the protagonist, the future, the adult self, the adult version of our protagonist travel back and then travel back to her present time and and started to think that the way I survived my childhood, present now that I'm adult, it's to be an adult and to be myself and love who I am, find who I am and love who I am and move forward instead of go moving backwards. Um yes, that's so we wrote like two, three, many versions of this story. There's the earlier stages of this story, it's told from this adult perspective, looking back to childhood. And they were like, no, 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 no. It's not, wait, but this, has she figured out? She figured out where's she gonna go? And but we honestly we don't really know. We don't really know yet. And because this piece is really personal, we want to stay true because we haven't figured out. We're still 20 something year old. We're like, but we could write from the how we were, how we felt, and the emotion, the ecstasy, and as well as the calamity we felt as a kid for tiny little things, from sharing a snack to like losing a favorite sticker, and just like this tiny little thing create such huge emotion in us, and we're like, we remember all of that, we could write all of that, and we could let the younger self teach the adult self something. And there's a piece about marionette, why it's my puppets marionettes are better actors. It's because they have no ego. Um, and it's true. They do things because they do things. And they don't really care how their hair look like. And a lot of human actor can't do that, me included. It's we just naturally we always carry an ego. Puppets don't. And when I'm manipulating puppet, I sort of let go of my ego too. Because, people are not looking at you, people are looking at the puppet. So now with this piece, personal curiosity, why do we want to include puppets in this piece? Because it's really about this 9-year-old girl going through life and encounter some calamity in the first time, bullying, body image issue, can't fit in a piece of costume. Why are my friends laughing at me? Why didn't Nana pass away? And why is my pet hamster also going to die at some point? And why do people have to leave? Why do I have to lose things? Why can't I be happy all the time? But she's dealing with such a childish and innocent and joyful and hopeful way. Like like when she feels caged because the Chinese teacher misspies control. So at the day, she saw ostrich free running on the highway. And is it imagination or is it real? We don't know. But that's how see the world, right? They see the possibility of the world, and they see it with you could say unfiltered, or with a filter that makes it even more true to how the world should be experienced. It just like we wanted to free. It is like the wonderment. It's so important to um this piece. So we thought, oh, you know what? A bit. We can't hire a real ostrich, but we could make a giant full body puppet that's a shiny ostrich that walk through the aisle of the audience. So to make it just a little bit more immersive. And so the audience is invited to little Robin's, little Zhigeng's part of the world, and how audience see how she see the world. That where audience is not caged, where the hamster hamster singing, and where the what else do where there's like after Nana died, a bird visited us, and it sort of sounded like Nana. Um, so it's about again, it's about dealing trauma. But you know, theater has always have a soft way to deal with trauma. It's magic. And also there's a theater section in the play that is about uh an adaptation of Ugly Duckling. Because Ugly Duckling kind of teaches kids a wrong message. Like you couldn't bully someone because what? Because they will turn into a beautiful white swan? No, just you should be kind to someone no matter how they look. And you know what? It's okay to just be an ugly duckling because it's not about being ugly. It's just ugly duckling is not ugly. It's ugly duckling just looked different from the brother and sisters. And it's okay to be different. Don't have to be swan. So the story of Ugly Duckling should be about discovering who you are and who you always have been. You don't have to have a magical makeover or transformation. And so our 9-year-old protagonist rewrite the story in the play. So it's a play in the play, and put on this little toy theater with two of her best friend. That's about ducklings, and they learn about each other, and they learn about how everyone's different from one another, which makes us all the same. What I want the audience to get out of this production is um, some laughs, some um, some um, other emotions, some laughs. What I want my audience to get out of this piece is an experience that make them kind of sometimes happy, sometimes moved, sometimes kind of sad, but eventually some hopes. Um, and to all the kids that will see the show, I want to say, you, if anyone can overturn this capitalist and hierarchical and bad theater system, this and make more experimental and beautiful and heartfelt pieces, is the young, is the next generation. And honestly, not only in theater, I hope the kids will see this play and feel like I could change the world. And I hope the adults see this play and feel like I can still change the world. People who like theater for young audience should definitely come. And I think theater for young audience as a concept need to be expanded because I think theater audience should be fun for both kids and adults. So adults should come too. I just want to say that this story, although it's a coming of age story of this 9-year-old little girl, it's also about the other characters, and each character has a, a lot of personality and has their own storyline. For example, the grandma, for example, the mom, for example, the bird columnist that a little Zhigeng loves reading. Um, for example, the adult version of our protagonist. For example, the cat hamster. Like you even get to know about the origin story and the whole story of a little hamster, and there's also a dialogues of these two passengers on the bus, and so it's not a classic one act or three act play. I would say it's more like a photo album or a constellation, um, with many moments and many characters. Um, that's has that's connected by a central theme, um, and they're all in this photo album where you can just flip through and you're like, oh wow, this this scene is the style is exposed, and this scene is more saturated color, and this scene is kind of it's intimate and it's a little bit sad, and this photo uh, has a lot of puppets in it. So you're just like flipping this album. I'm sure one of the picture will hit you. Hi, I'm Olivia Xing. I'm the director and playwright for the new Theater for Audience and AAPI piece, Birds and the Curiosity, 鸟与好奇号. It's a coming of age story of the 9-year-old Chinese girl and her time traveling future self, and many birds and a singing hamster. Want to know more? Come see our show.